Humanity faces an endless array of dangers, with countless armies rising to spread hatred and chaos. Vigilance can be maintained against threats that are not truly human, yet the existence of such malevolent entities, the demons, remains a profound peril. Simply learning of these creatures risks corrupting the soul, for they are embodiments of lies made flesh. Awareness alone can threaten one's very essence. The spirits of the most righteous are sacred and inviolate, their purity protected by enchanted armor inscribed with protective sigils. Their weapons gleam with the inner light of their sanctity, and each of these warriors is a psychic force bound in sacred communion with their battle brothers. Empowered by minds perpetually on alert, they can cleave through steel with their bare hands, their eyes burning with indomitable fire, and their words capable of banishing demonic entities lurking in shadows. These Knights of Titan engage from the depths of crowded worlds where mortal civilizations teem, to planets tainted with chaos and mutation. Such environments would crush lesser warriors' sanity, but the Grey Knights stand resilient, acting as the Imperium's ultimate shield against the nightmares foreseen by the Emperor. They are humanity's blade against the powers that threaten its existence, offering hope where others see only hollow victories. The origins of the 6th chapter, known as the Grey Knights, remain shrouded in mystery, with no living member claiming full knowledge of their beginnings. Their only formal account is preserved within the fortress monastery, called the Citadel of Titan. From this record, supplemented by rare legends, emerges a story of immense peril, priceless secrets, and the concealment of knowledge so profound that it could shatter souls. It is said that during the waning days of the Horus Heresy, the founders of the Grey Knights were first assembled. At that time, even as the Emperor mobilized his armies to confront Horus, the arch-traitor and master of mankind, considered a greater threat, was already contemplated. Mythic sources from that ancient epoch suggest only the Emperor foresaw the chaos and the dangers posed by the warp, its demons and gods that thrived within. These entities, born of tumult of emotion, became terrible beings in the warp, seeking more than mere destruction, aiming instead for corruption, subjugation, and eternal suffering. Ambiguous references imply that the Emperor's most trusted servant, Malcador the Sigillite, scourged the warp-torn Imperium during the heresy, tasked by the Emperor to find individuals capable of shouldering the burden of safeguarding humanity's future. Among these, Malcador presented the Emperor with a select group of 8 space marines, brave, loyal, and acutely aware of the warp's dangers, each possessing advanced esoteric abilities. Approved by the Emperor, these heroes were destined for a shadowy task. Malcador then led them to Titan, a distant and icy moon of Saturn, where the Emperor's secret works were hidden from all factions, both traitors and loyalists, an ancient stronghold now lost to history. Deep within a clandestine fortress monastery, hidden away from prying eyes, lay the secret means to forge a new chapter, one not descended from the legions still engaged in battle, but created anew through an emperor's isolated design. The time it took for such a plan to come to fruition, for suitable recruits to be gathered or specialized weapons and war gear to be crafted, remains largely unknown, perhaps even to those involved. It is believed that Malcador himself may have appointed one of the 8 legendary figures known as Janus to lead this first chapter as its supreme Grand Master, setting the foundation for a formidable force. What transpired afterward has since slipped beyond full comprehension, even among the Grey Knights themselves. Meanwhile, Terra prepared to confront the heretical legions of Horus, but a powerful enchantment of unprecedented scope disrupted reality itself. The moon, Titan, suddenly vanished from its orbit, slipping into the warp, unleashing chaos across the system. Time warped, and bloodshed engulfed the entire realm, with Titan seemingly anchored somewhere in the Imperium, unaware of the tragic turn of heresy. Meanwhile, those on the planet devoted themselves to fulfilling the Emperor's vision, striving to bring his gift to humanity as titanic energies shielded the world from the tumult of the warp. Years passed in real space, yet perhaps countless more elapsed within the timeless depths of the warp before Titan reappeared amid turmoil and disorder during the Second Founding. It is whispered that the burgeoning Inquisition played a significant role in those events, shaping their course. It was during this era that the Grey Knights first emerged, officially recognized as the 666th chapter of the Adeptus Dartis, the Warriors. These inquisitorial agents found 1,000 soldiers, believed to be the initial members, although they were no longer new to the Emperor's vision. Their existence had to be kept secret, for immediate action was needed against demonic forces, forces so perilous that only the Grey Knights could face them without risking corruption. The sorcery used to banish such entities must remain forever unknown, with all witnesses eradicated. Titan's frozen wasteland is a stark and hostile environment, scarred by jagged black rocks, cryovolcanoes, and vast oceans of liquid methane. Its bleak landscape offers little support for life, serving as a perfect veiling layer for the planet's many secrets. Approaching Titan's surface requires passing through numerous defenses, barriers, detection systems, and guardians. Ships might be detected by unusual vessels orbiting in the darkness, hints of ghostly returns and strange technologies. Those equipped with esoteric powers or advanced psychic capabilities may sense the subtle signals of interdimensional hunters or stationers, housing psychic choirs that whisper Titan's secrets into the minds of the untrained. Alongside these defenses, layers of deception, obfuscation, and extermination surpass even those guarding Tara herself. Titan's seemingly lifeless surface, an icy crust overshadowed by Mount Anarch, hides a citadel, the Citadel of Titan, which has stood since its shadowy origins. Every approach and attempt to penetrate its defenses is met with relentless vigilance, a testament to its importance and the depths of its hidden mysteries. The fortress monastery of the Grey Knights stands at the heart of Titan, its towering black spires piercing the void. Amongst these formidable structures are arrays of massive cannons and defense laser emplacements, carefully integrated within the citadel's forbidding exterior. Within its labyrinthine halls and dusty corridors, only the faint echoes of flowing robes and the muted rustle of new armor echo through cavernous chambers. These vast spaces, designed to house an entire chapter's armaments, vehicles, and support personnel, often lie vacant for long stretches, yet remain ever vigilant against demonic threats. Distance is no safeguard. While most Grey Knights are scattered across the stars, battling the unseen terrors, the Citadel endures, awaiting their triumphant return. Its great walls and grand columns bear the engraved battle honors of countless campaigns. Trophies and relics adorn the Hall of Champions deep within the fortress. There, the most sacred and perilous relics recovered from their missions are carefully kept under the watchful protection of the Chambers of Purity. The Grey Knights' victories owe much to their foresight. Their most advanced consciousness device resides atop the highest black spire, a shimmering silver pinnacle. Housed within vaulted chambers behind mirrored walls, the Aurum within these spaces holds the prognostic devices of the chapter's psychic sentinels. These powerful psychers, surrounded by flickering candles and wafts of incense, decipher subtle psychic signals and fluctuations, seeking to divine the location and timing of impending demonic incursions. Since the warp is inherently uncertain and dangerous, their efforts are fraught with peril, as much of what they perceive can be misleading. However, by carefully unraveling falsehoods, the prognostic devices enable the Grey Knights to trace the faint incursion spores and often position themselves before outbreaks fully unfold. A rare advantage in a universe where waiting for planetary pleas often comes too late. The chapter's sanctum sanctorum forms its spiritual core, a vast fortified chamber connected to countless vaults, halls, and alcoves that safeguard the accumulated knowledge of the Grey Knights. Here rest walls of ancient tomes, yellowed scrolls, data crystals, and info wafers, repositories of forbidden lore, secret rites, and deadly secrets. The names of cursed Xenos species and outlawed cults are recorded alongside forged secrets of their specialized Nemesis Force weapons and the sacred psychic ceremonies that bind the chapter's psychers. Hidden within stasis vaults and frozen silver discs lie their genetic legacies preserved for future generations. At the very heart of Titan's fortress calls the Warp Nexus, a star-shaped chamber constantly alive with chants and prayers from hundreds of chapter members. According to the sacred texts, The complex sigils and carved symbols inscribed here serve as protective wards for Titan and its citadel, shielding them from the encroaching chaos of the warp. This nexus allows the Grey Knights to monitor, predict, and respond to demonic incursions before they fully manifest, giving them a strategic edge unmatched by any other force of the Imperium. Their knowledge and foresight make them the ultimate guardians against the unseen horrors lurking beyond the fabric of reality. During their years within the warp, the Grey Knights Monastery served as a steadfast sanctuary, a tangible relic allegedly left behind by Malador the Sigite. It was not only a reminder of their origins, but also a symbol of hope, a last refuge in times of dire need. Their sacred chant, known as the Canticle of Absolutions, echoes within their order, recalling the 666 secret words of Templar Mysteria that praise the Emperor for his sacrifice. As he endures, so do they, forging their resolve in his name. The Grey Knights, relentless demon hunters, vow to delve into the darkest shadows, seeking out corruption and combating evil wherever it lurks. They stand vigilant, their eternal watch unbreakable, determined to prevent chaos from spreading. They are the guardians of mankind's secrets, their gaze piercing the farthest reaches of the galaxy. No infernal creature shall evade their scrutiny, no demon escape its destined fate. As eternal sentinels, they are the keepers of knowledge, shrouded in secrecy, their presence hidden from chaos's sight. They strike swiftly without warning, their hearts unmoved by darkness, their minds free of treachery and pride. They remain pure amidst impurity, innocent amidst guilt, the Imperium's concealed protectors. Spread across the stars, their watch is unceasing. With unwavering faith, they rely on the Emperor to safeguard their souls while they guard others. Their weapons are their will, their faith their armor. Their minds serve as fortresses of strength, impervious to temptations or despair. Countless perils await, yet their blades remain ever sharp, for they are the Emperor's vengeance. Masters of every weapon, no defense can withstand their wrath. With the Nemesis, their exorcisms, and advanced technology at hand, they confront the darkness with relentless fury. In combat, they fight with unyielding dedication, their mission to save mankind. War is constant and their creed steady. Death is eternal, and holy war their purpose. Cowardice is unknown among them. Their courage, rooted in unwavering loyalty to the Emperor, fuels their victory. They pursue their enemies with relentless passion, hunting those who oppose their sacred duty. Threats in myriad forms, grotesque, inhuman, and chaotic, stand against them. Yet they remain beacons of hope, their battles fierce and endless. Redemption beckons in every victory, a reward for their vigilance. When chaos threatens to surge, their blades activate, driving back otherworldly horrors and banishing darkness. No chaos spawn or forbidden magic can withstand their fury. Their indomitable anger is unstoppable. They are the arbiters of triumph, defenders against corruption, and wielders of justice. No malevolent force, no matter how intangible, can tarnish the galaxy, while the Grey Knights stand vigilant. They are the eternal shield of mankind, unwavering in their purpose, champions in the endless war against the darkness. No malevolent spirit can stand against us, nor any act of wickedness escape justice. We are unwavering in our resolve to punish impurity and desecration, ensuring that every act of sacrilege is atoned for. All agents of chaos and corruption are cast into the void, banished from our domain. Nothing can escape our purifying flames, not demon spawn, renegades, or agents of disorder. We are the divine instrument of humanity's protection. Blessings from the Emperor empower us, and the turbulent currents of chaos are ours to tame. Though dark sorcery may oppose us, no incantation or spell can doom our cause. The Emperor's gaze assures us of victory. No curse or enchantment can break our unwavering will. Our determination is as unyielding as steel, reinforced by sacred sigils and wards that shield us. Prayers serve as our guiding light, reaffirming our status as the Emperor's chosen defenders. Despite the pervasive shadows that threaten to engulf us, falsehoods and treachery cannot deceive our resolve. No schemes or treachery can sway us from our sacred duty, and no evil can weaken our spirit. There is no peace in surrender. We will fight forever as long as life endures, ever committed to our divine mission. Within the foundation of our order, often called the second founding chapter, we do not strictly adhere to the traditional codex. Instead, our core principles derive from the teachings believed to be bestowed by Malador himself, an understanding forged through our relentless war against the dark gods. Our chapter, known as the Grey Knights, maintains a strength of roughly 1,000 battle brothers, not counting officers or specialized units. Beyond our core warriors, we also command large contingents of mortal psychers, scribes, scholars, and occultists whose secretive work is vital to our operations. These individuals work quietly within the citadel of Titan, protecting its sanctity from demonic threats and maintaining its spiritual defenses. Many serve as servants, esoteric scholars, or custodians of forbidden knowledge, often their whispers hushed and their steps burdened, their minds sometimes cleansed for safety. Their efforts are crucial in defending our stronghold from demonic incursions and other dark dangers. Our forces are organized into 8 grand brotherhoods, each comprising about 100 Grey Knights. These brotherhoods operate under the leadership of a Grand Master and are commanded by a brother captain, usually supported by a brother champion and other officers. Within each brotherhood, squads of 10 warriors, led by veteran brothers called Juster, execute tactical missions. These squads maintain flexibility, capable of splitting into halves to engage multiple threats simultaneously, yet remaining combat effective even when divided. Every Grey Knight is proficient with our diverse and arcane weaponry. Our training ensures that each squad can deploy with precision and adapt to the evolving demands of battle, embodying the unwavering commitment to our sacred duty. The composition of each squad with its specific tactical loadout and strategic purpose is dictated by the chapter's commanding officers, chiefly the Grand Master and the Brotherhood Captain. Over time, it has become clear that the most effective formations combine Terminator squads and strike forces supported by interceptors and reconnaissance units. The Grey Knights operate under the guidance of the Chapter Council, a body led by the Chapter Lord, also known as the Supreme Grand Master, alongside 8 Grand Masters representing various fraternity branches. Meetings of this council happen infrequently, as most members serve far from Titan, each holding equal voice in decision-making. Ultimately, the Chapter Lord bears the responsibility to deliver final judgments. Each Grand Master oversees a specific branch, such as the Armory or Librarius, which functions as part of his brotherhood. These branches are officially associated with their leader's group, but are often dispatched on extended missions elsewhere, a role that is partly ceremonial, but also strategic, shaping their tactics and combat style over time. Beyond these core units, the Grey Knights maintain 2 additional specialized bodies, each with unique traditions and direct ties to the Chapter Council. The Order of Purifiers, rarely exceeding 50 members, is a cloistered brotherhood embodying spiritual purity, led by Knights of the Flame. Meanwhile, the Paladins serve as the chapter's martial elite, around 100 of the most skilled warriors chosen from among the brotherhood, from whom the most revered ancient chaplain is selected. This chaplain guides the chapter in prayer during gatherings held in the Hall of Champions, a place where the wisdom of venerable dreadnoughts is often sought. The Grey Knights are at the forefront of an unending war against demonic forces, constantly battling the corrupting influence of the warp. Their organization does not include reserve or specialized companies, because their duty demands readiness to purge warp spawn from any battleground without delay. The leader of each brotherhood, the Grand Master, is a spiritual and strategic successor to the chapter's original founders. His role is to forge the ongoing campaign against the demonic invaders by employing any necessary means, whether overt or covert. This includes maintaining alliances within the chapter, with other imperial organizations, or with clandestine allies, often based on consultations with the chapter's prognosticators, whose counsel guides critical decisions. The Grand Master's judgments, decisions that can determine the fate of billions, dictate where his warriors are sent. With approximately 100 Grey Knights under his command, his choices have profound consequences, as his leadership can either save countless lives or seal the doom of entire worlds. In many conflicts, the universe's survival hinges not on endless negotiations, but on decisive action. Sometimes the Grand Master must make the difficult choice to obliterate entire fallen worlds through the destructive power of cyclonic warheads, an act known as exterminatus. This leader is not only a master strategist, but also a symbol of martial excellence. His presence on the battlefield signals the gravity of the threat they face, often leading the most perilous assaults with unwavering resolve. During deployment and command, he is supported by a seasoned brother captain who holds operational control over the Brotherhood. It is the brother captain who determines how the Grand Master's strategic vision is implemented on the ground. Positioned at the heart of combat, he fights shoulder to shoulder with his warriors, harnessing immense psychic strength channeled through armored fingertips. Through rigorous training, he has perfected his powers to maintain constant mental links with each warrior, even amid chaos. This telepathic connection enables quick, precise responses to emerging threats, allowing his unit to adapt swiftly and effectively. Veterans often fight alongside the brother captain, exemplifying the martial prowess revered by the chapter. The Brotherhood's champion embodies the ideals of divine mastery, clad in intricate armor and wielding a sword echoing the chapter's emblem. He defends the captain with unmatched skill and is prepared to sacrifice himself in his stead. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood's ancient standard, taken from the halls of Titan and carried into battle, serves as a rallying point. Its presence inspires fierce heroism, as the ancient himself invokes the deeds inscribed on the banner, fueling his brother's resolve during the fiercest fights. In the shadow of war, Grey Knights face some of the most hellish battles, often in twisted landscapes ablaze with warp fire, filled with the screams and whispers of demonic entities. To withstand such horrors, they deepen their psychic connection through sacred rituals and chants, sharpening their minds and blades. Each warrior's spirit is fortified as they stand firm in the heat of battle, ready for the torment and chaos around them. The Justicars leading each squad hone their psychic and combat talents, serving as both skilled fighters and focus points for the broader fighting tactics. Every brother trains to wield a variety of weapons, armor, and specialized gear, mastering the rights associated with their tactical roles. In the chapter, Terminator armor is a rare and highly prized resource reserved for the elite. Maintaining enough suits to arm the entire chapter reflects their critical duty. Encased within bonded ceramite and exoskeletons, Germinator squads can sustain prolonged battles against demonic hordes, cutting down swaths of enemies with tempestuous volleys of fire. This combination of strategic precision, psychic mastery, and relentless combat readiness underscores the chapter's unwavering commitment to victory, even in the face of the universe's darkest threats. Before confronting larger foes wielding Nemesis Force weapons, powerful tools attuned to their users' unique abilities, armored Grey Knights launch strikes against flesh-covered citadels amid raging firestorms, battling within labyrinthine spaceships. Lightly armored strike squads don suits of artificer-raised power armor etched with sacred sigils, often tasked with reconnaissance missions ahead of battle, even when such threats remain hidden from prognostic devices or sorcerous layers. These elite units frequently rely on surgical attacks to divert and destabilize enemy assaults, using psychic enhancements to deliver precise high-impact strikes. Heavily armed squads wield multiple powerful weapons, a rarity across the wider Imperium, employing their psychic talents to pierce through the warp and detect threats long before they fully manifest. Some of these units, through years of deception and prophecy, gain a near-prescient vision of future threats, making seemingly impossible shots. Despite often being outnumbered, Grey Knights benefit from support by specialized units known as Purgatory, which are rarely seen supporting different chapters. Many Grey Knight attacks are characterized by sudden teleportation strikes, their warriors specially reinforced against the warp's influence. Reconnaissance squads repeatedly teleport to swiftly redeploy, executing perfectly coordinated maneuvers that leave enemies bewildered and overwhelmed. Their mastery of warp travel and mental harmony allows these squads to operate with uncanny precision, disrupting enemy formations with seamless synchronization. Enemies caught unprepared are seldom aware of the Ward Makers, their most formidable psychic warriors, who have achieved historic victories by banishing some of the most dangerous demons ever encountered, often hidden beyond Imperial records. The third brotherhood of Grey Knights, known as the Ward Makers, possess an extraordinary depth of forbidden knowledge, allowing them to banish deadly entities from the warp. Their long-standing connection with the chapter's librarians grants them unparalleled expertise in psychic defense and exorcism. Between battles, they delve into ancient tomes collected over the millennia, mastering techniques to craft mental shields that reject demon influence, projecting purifying auras to cleanse corrupted souls. Some Ward Makers specialize in severing demonic ties, isolating heretics from the whispers of evil entities seeking control. Successive Grand Masters have taught that broad, diverse knowledge is essential for defeating deception-based enemies, as demons rely on lies and misdirection. Every battle brother of the Ward Makers maintains rigorous mastery of his skills, training tirelessly under the Brotherhood's wise guidance. Achieving excellence requires memorizing and reciting all 666 verses of the Cabal Luminar without pause or mistake. Only through such disciplined dedication can a champion truly ascend, supported by specialized Luna-class combat units. Within the chapter, every battle brother holds an equal voice, reflecting the democratic nature of their council, where no hierarchy grants one a higher status. Despite varying allegiances and strategies among the Brotherhood, all are unified in purpose, with no rank surpassing another. These Ward Makers have been crucial in repelling Chaos invaders. A single defeat in these clandestine conflicts could have plunged humanity into deeper darkness. When a mysterious contagion afflicted the Desalis system, it was the council of the Third Brotherhood's Grand Master, Valadar Oricon, who uncovered its true nature. His meticulous analysis, combining prognostic readings, ancient prophecies, and the Emperor's tarot, revealed a demonic influence rooted in Xenian demonic schemes. Recognizing the threat's severity, he understood it to be a ravenous plague of madness capable of spreading endlessly across Caliphate, should it go unchecked. Facing demons from all four Chaos deities, the Ward Makers confronted a massive incursion that threatened the segmentum of Cryptomundi. They battled legions of warped demon engines and damaged hulks, remnants of destroyed populations. Drawing upon their extensive knowledge of arcane sorceries, they devised spells tailored to combat each demonic form. No single sanctified blast could suffice, as the enemies constantly shifted forms, demanding versatile and potent magic. Guided by Grand Master Valdez, the Third Brotherhood stood in alliance with the Ultramarines on Macro, their combined psychic might pushing back Chaos forces during the Siege of Hera. Such unity ensured the Primarch rout Guilliman's revival, a victory that cemented their reputation. Among these heroes, Grand Master Voldus exudes unmatched psychic power, surpassing any Grey Knight in recent memory. When he steps into battle, the air thickens with psychic energy. Waves of purifying flame purge enemies as he wields his relic weapon, the Malus Arium. Crafted over a century by the blind Smith Oliver, the weapon thrums with psychic force, feeding energy into its arcane core. Voldus wielded it as though weightless, his strikes devastating as thunderbolts. His rise to Grand Master came amidst the Great Rifts' apocalyptic upheaval, a honor bestowed by Lord Cord Drago after their joint victory over the Xenon demonic lord. Voldus views himself as a humble warrior, more interested in the eradication of demons than personal elevation. Yet he swore an oath to serve and uphold the chapter's honor across Macra, Gallimore Prime, Luna, and Terrara. Among his many achievements, Voldus's exceptional strengths lie in his power, resolve, and leadership. As Warden of the Librarius, he commands the chapter's librarians and oversees its arcane defenses, leveraging his authority to guide the elite of the chapter in their ongoing battle against the unrelenting forces of chaos. Among the vast repositories of knowledge guarded by the Grey Knights, Brother Captain Stern stands out as one of the most seasoned and highly decorated members of the chapter. He spearheaded the counterattack against the cult of the Red Talon, and he is the sole warrior to have cornered Motten, the Lord of Change, who had enslaved many and summoned a destructive demon from the warp. Stern's feat of psychic mastery in this confrontation was considered beyond what a single brother captain could accomplish, marking the beginning of a centuries-long campaign fueled by personal vengeance. Since that victory, Martin has repeatedly appeared in Stern's path, interfering with his mission and causing misfortune to those close to him, as the demon seems to evade capture each time, often leaving Stern's allies wounded or lost. Despite such setbacks, the captain learns more about his demonic adversary with every encounter, while Maton appears to be gathering intelligence about him in turn. Stern's unwavering resolve is driven by his vow to see Martin defeated once and for all. He refuses to seek promotion or respite until this goal is achieved, believing that the day Martin oversteps his boundaries will be the moment he can strike the final blow, avenging fallen brothers. Within the chapter, every Grey Knight is born with psionic potential, a mutation that distinguishes them from other Space Marines, yet few master these abilities freely. Even for a Grey Knight, their psychic power is a dangerous gift, capable of opening portals to the material realm for relentless demons seeking access. It is primarily the librarians, trained specialists within the chapter, who hone this power, wielding it with precision and discipline. The librarians are highly skilled in arcane arts, capable of performing complex incantations developed through centuries of study and combat against warp creatures. They serve alongside their brotherhoods on the battlefield, providing both support and strategic counsel based on their extensive knowledge of arcane and obscure lore. Their training emphasizes resisting the corrupting influence of the warp. They don elaborate armor, often embedded with crystalline and neural components, which enhances their mental defenses and their capability to dispel sorcery directed at them or their allies. Ranked within a mysterious hierarchy, librarians begin as lexiconums and progress through ranks like codicil and ellery. As they ascend, their minds are judged to be stronger and more capable of wielding dangerous mystical powers, granting them access to secrets long held by the chapter. Deep beneath the chapter's sanctum, the Librarium Demonica is among the most heavily fortified locations in the Imperium, a vault of knowledge on demonkind, some of which predates the Imperium's foundation. This repository contains lore gathered from long-extinct alien civilizations and is believed by some to include insights dictated by Malador or even the Emperor himself. The importance of safeguarding this knowledge cannot be overstated. The Librarium Demonica is protected by 3 layers of adamantine barriers, each designed to prevent unauthorized access and ensure that these potent secrets do not fall into the wrong hands, safeguarding both the chapter's honor and the wider realm from the dangerous truths hidden within. Deep beneath the moon's surface lie the ancient chambers of purity, believed to be the oldest part of the citadel of Titan. These vaults are fiercely protected by thick barriers reinforced with sacred enchantments, anointed with consecrated oils and sealed with silver wards, all under the vigilant guardianship of elder librarians. These custodians stand before the 3 colossal gateways, each layered with complex arcane inscriptions, spatial displacers, and swirling magical vortices. Anyone attempting entry without uttering the secret words of passage at the precise ritual moment risks swift destruction by these guardians. Within these chambers are concealed chilling truths, including the true names of some of the most malevolent demons and documented instances of their manifestations. One particularly notorious demon, known as Martin, haunts these stories, its dark influence seemingly intimately connected to the fate of a certain captain and his brother. The chambers of purity are believed to be nestled in the deepest, coldest recesses of the fortress, buried far beneath the surface and hidden from all but the most privileged. Their purpose extends beyond mere secrecy. They serve to safeguard something far darker, an ancient, powerful secret. Legends whisper of a great evil lurking beneath the roots of Mount Anarch, where the Grey Knight's fortress monastery stands. To those authorized to approach the outer entrance of these chambers, strange echoes and shifting air patterns hint at vast, unknown spaces beyond. Even the grandest of the chapter's leaders lack complete knowledge of what lies inside, fueling rumors that span centuries. Some speculate that this darkness is intrinsic to Titan itself, possibly the reason the moon was chosen as the homeworld of the Grey Knights. There are those who believe Titan was already tainted, or that the Emperor intentionally placed these dark secrets there, an act of preservation or concealment. Other tales suggest that during Titan's ancient timeless period within the warp, a failure occurred, an interaction with a warp nexus that allowed malevolent forces to breach the planet's core. The Iron Grimoire, bound in screaming warp metal, is thought to hold the only truths. Its pages depict Titan's bedrock as a carved tomb, with the chambers of purity serving as the tomb's capstone, more a lock and key than a prison. Only the Supreme Grand Master possesses the knowledge to read the grimoire, while the Guardians of the Chambers, an elite order of purifiers, alone understand what they vigilantly protect. Whenever Titan trembles, the ground shaking with ominous vibrations, the chapter's guardians seal the chamber's approaches, holding their breath until danger passes. Since the emergence of the Great Rift, earthquakes have become more frequent and violent, with some chapter members reporting unsettling patterns. Visionaries whisper fears of a great awakening, sensing that an ancient evil might be stirring beneath the surface. Yet, beyond these whispers and tremors, the true magnitude of the darkness remains shrouded, deepening the mystery of Titan's hidden secrets. Within the fortified chambers of purity, protected by complex layers of stasis fields and ancient security measures, lie the chapter's most forbidden relics. These are artifacts so perilous that they cannot be studied openly nor displayed as trophies in the Hall of Champions. Instead, they are carefully preserved, for to destroy them would release the malevolent entities they contain. Demons once imprisoned, now eager to return to the depths of the warp and spread chaos anew. These chambers contain detailed catalogs, records, scrolls, and texts, composed of myriad rare substances, some formed from the bones of fallen saints or the remains of insidious Xenos creatures. Among these are treasures and cursed objects, including some from darker eras of technology and forbidden arts. The relics include ancient weaponry, blades, hooks, maces, and bizarre firearms, each imbued with malignant energies and sealed in gilded containers. Many have tasted blood or soul, and some are among the chapter's most dangerous possessions, their destructive will suppressed only by the arcane workings of old machines and the radiant protection of the chamber's custodians. The Keepers of Purity are a distinct order within the chapter, defined by their unwavering commitment to safeguarding these sanctums. Unlike other Grey Knights, their role is solely to prevent intrusion, whether mortal or supernatural, and to ensure that nothing breaches their realm or reaches the sacred mountains beyond. Only the Grand Masters and chapter leaders can enter their domain voluntarily, and even then only under strict conditions. They possess the authority to annihilate anyone attempting unauthorized access, and history records no intruder who has returned from such an encounter, leaving their fates forever sealed and unquestioned. The Purifiers embody the very essence of the chapter's sacred mission. Joining their ranks is neither achieved through training nor earned by valor or deeds alone. Instead, membership is reserved for those whose souls are deemed utterly pure, so much so that it surpasses the most rigorous standards of their order. The selection process is meticulous, and the number of purifiers rarely exceeds a few dozen at any time. Because their presence remains vital, the chapter never contemplates relaxing these strict criteria, even amid the rarest of circumstances. In this way, the purifiers maintain the sanctity and security of the most dangerous secrets, their purpose eternal and unyielding, standing as the final safeguard against forces that would shatter the fragile balance of their sacred realm. In the event a purifier receives an urgent request from a Grand Master for aid, it is typically due to a dire need only a council member can authorize. Such requests are made with an understanding of the profound responsibility inherent in the purifier's duty, even if its true purpose remains veiled. Grand Masters usually invoke this authority only in critical circumstances, especially when purifiers are needed to lead the charge in war zones teeming with demonic legions. These pure-hearted warriors are distinguished not just by their unwavering spirit, but also by their exceptional role in battle, often serving as the vanguard of their chapter. In the chaos of combat, where worlds are wrought with fire and fury, Purifiers' unyielding resolve becomes their most formidable weapon. Like a radiant halo, a luminous aura surrounds these disciplined fighters, reminiscent of the luminescence attributed to the Imperium's most revered saints. This spiritual glow is paired with the formidable psychic gifts of a gray knight, transforming their courage of heart and clarity of mind into a purifying flame. This radiant fire wreaks havoc upon corrupted foes, burning away their malevolence in both mind and flesh. A demon's chilling evil finds itself violently opposed, while a tainted soldier's dread manifests as a blazing corona, illuminating their resolve. Alien enemies become enveloped in this destructive blaze, and only the purifiers, clad in shining armor, walk through the scorched battlefield, dispatching their charred adversaries with unwavering precision. Within the Grand Hall of Champions, columns of dark basalt rise to vaulted arches, framing a sacred space of martial and spiritual significance for the chapter. Here hang banners and trophies that memorialize their victories, while imposing statues of revered gray knights cast stern shadows illuminated by sacred candles. The hall functions as both a sanctuary and a symbol of their enduring strength, where rare congregations are held, often after hard-fought victories, when multiple gray knights gather in solemn reflection and readiness for the next confrontation. This fortress serves as a nexus of honor and tradition, where ranks of statues honor ancestors and legendary heroes who have inspired generations. During special ceremonies, oaths are sworn upon these monuments, reaffirming the chapter's eternal commitment. Investitures and ordinations happen within sacred circles inlaid into the floor, often marked with silver, symbolizing divine blessing. Displayed along iron hooks and chains are trophies from vanquished enemies, shattered weapons, scorched armor fragments, and even bizarre relics like the twisted iron masks of a slain demon mage. Among the most extraordinary relics is the skull of Barath, demon lord of Nalo. Before its spirit could escape into the warp, the Grey Knights bound it within its own skull, condemning the once malevolent creature to an eternal, impotent witness. Now, its fading essence silently and powerlessly observes the chapter's triumphs over chaos, a grim reminder of the price paid in their ceaseless war against darkness. The predominant concern of the knights is the ever-present demonic threat. They constantly face fierce battles against alien creatures and heretical entities, with numerous trophies adorning the Hall of Champions as proof of their relentless victories. This hall serves as the sanctuary of the Paladins, housing the illustrious Grey Knight's most distinguished warriors. Many statues within its walls commemorate former members of the Paladin Brotherhood, emphasizing the Order's proud history. As the highest echelon of the Grey Knights, the Purifiers stand as the chapter's most sacred elite, with Paladins serving as the chapter's paragons of bravery and skill. To earn their place among these revered warriors, Grey Knights must go beyond mere prowess. They must complete 8 perilous quests that test their character and resolve. Each mission grows more challenging and dangerous, often culminating in the pursuit and exile of one of the 666 most formidable demons ever manifested. Many battle brothers have sacrificed their lives during these missions, adhering to the strict tradition that abandoning a quest would bring severe dishonor. For a Grey Knight, the opportunity to undertake sacred missions outweighs the risk of losing their valuable skills, as such sacrifices elevate their service to the chapter to a higher purpose. Typically, Paladins fight not as a unified force, but are called upon by the chapter's commanding officers when the situation demands exceptional strength. They are dispatched in small groups to support individual brotherhoods, demonstrating a selfless dedication combined with unmatched skill. Paladins plunge into combat against towering demon lords and hordes of warp spawn without hesitation, embodying the chapter's courage and resolve. The banners and standards displayed in the Hall of Champions symbolize each brotherhood and order within the Grey Knights. These banners honor the cleansing of worlds and the eradication of unholy evil, commemorating heroic deeds few in the broader Imperium are aware of, and even fewer record. Each brotherhood maintains numerous standards, and the hall also displays personal banners and relics of fallen heroes. Among them, the Paladin Ancient stands out, Selected from the exemplar brotherhood for his reverence and unwavering resolve, he bears one of the chapter's greatest standards, depicting the Grey Knight's most glorious victories over demonic forces. Having fought in many of these triumphs, he serves as a living symbol of inspiration, second only to the banner he proudly raises. Against the backdrop of these standards, the chapter's chaplains lead their brethren in prayer during grand gatherings within the Hall of Champions. They also invoke spiritual strength before battles. As spiritual guides, chaplains uphold many of the chapter's traditions, instructing neophytes in the strict rules they must obey before acceptance into the brotherhood. They do not shy from delivering harsh judgments to those wavering in their discipline. Their fiery sermons, whether shouted amidst the chaos of battle or delivered with grim solemnity within the hall, serve as a constant reminder of the chapter's unwavering faith and purpose. The cost of failure weighed heavily on all involved, compelling them to conceal the truth. Beneath the sacred standards of the Grey Knights, carefully hidden within the Hall of Champions, are inscribed accounts of pivotal moments in the history of the Imperium. These records are rarely celebrated or remembered by the common populace, and no statues stand on worlds they have saved, for there can be no witnesses to their secretive deeds. The danger posed by uncontrolled knowledge of demonic entities has repeatedly demonstrated its destructive potential, often bringing entire worlds to ruin where such knowledge is allowed to fester unchecked. Even after a world has been thoroughly sanctified and the threat neutralized, the Grey Knight's greatest victories are not celebrated openly. Those worlds that have survived demonic invasions are kept out of sight, and their brave defenders are ruthlessly purged during the extensive interrogation process overseen by the Ordo Malleus. The existence of such survivors is erased completely, leaving no record of their presence or service. It is probable that some forces reported as lost in the warp or en route to deployment actually reached their objective, fought valiantly, but were then captured, interrogated, and eliminated to maintain secrecy. The Grey Knights themselves sometimes participate in these clandestine purges, though much of this work is managed by the Ordo Malleus, which has the resources and expertise to execute such operations independently. Highly valued individuals, whether warriors from other Space Marine chapters or senior officers of the Imperial military, are often psychically erased from consciousness to prevent any knowledge of the conflict from lingering. Resistance to these mental wipes has occurred on rare occasions. At least one chapter was compelled to undertake a long campaign to the galactic rim rather than risk being branded as heretical over their objections. Amidst the ancient warp storm known as Guth's Eye, the Grey Knights uncovered a hidden ritual. They encountered visions originating from the Aurum-led, a secretive fleet from the First and Second Brotherhoods, containing a shocking sight, an armada of traitor legion vessels belonging to the Word-bearers, concealed within the warp in an octagonal formation. A cabal of sorcerers and dark apostles was executing a deadly ritual from within these ships. Already warp routes skirting Guth's Eye were being corrupted. Weaker Geller fields on Imperial vessels allowed warp predators to tear through the passages and feast on crews. Despite their own defenses trembling, the Grey Knights used their warp sign to hold back these predators and maintain their position. They sensed the true shape of the ritual, geometric patterns invisible in the chaos of the warp that underpinned its construction. The ritual was nearing completion, but also revealed the critical nodes that, if identified and disrupted, could cause the entire structure to collapse. With this knowledge, the Grey Knights fought to unravel the psychic framework, aiming to prevent the dark sorcery from reaching fruition. In a fierce onslaught, the Wright cruiser Sassor led a devastating series of precision strikes, breaking through the defenses of the W-Barrel's peripheral vessels. Its coordinated assault targeted vital gun decks with such precision that enemy fire was largely ineffective. Simultaneously, the Grey Knights executed seamless teleportation assaults on the bridge controls and the ancient engineering vaults, courtesy of their psychic prowess, ensuring that even amid the warp's tumultuous currents, the Chaos ships struggled to hold their essential positions for the impending ritual. Their concentrated fire inflicted minimal harm, as the energies of the halted ceremony deflected much of the attack. As the Grey Knights disengaged, the ritual unraveled, and the warp's turbulent tides flooded in, tearing apart most of the word-bearer fleet. Meanwhile, on Triss, a world renowned throughout the Sudar subsector for its rare bloodstone deposits, a prophecy of impending great evil was unfolding. An established malign influence embodied by Brother Captain Stern's demi-brotherhood uncovered that the planet was already in rebellion. The Lord of Change, Motten, had incited uprising from the Red Talon Citadel, suffusing the bloodstone mines with chaos-infused nightmares bound into the rock itself. Motten's corrupting influence spread discord across the sector as citizens wearing bloodstone tokens unwittingly fell under its sway. In response, Stern commanded half of his strike force to attack and disable the orbital shipyards, while he personally led a daring assault on the Red Talon Citadel. Teleporting directly into the throng of cultists enthralled to Motten, Stern and his warriors pushed toward the demon. He invoked ancient liturgies of banishment, engaging the greater entity in a tense duel of willpower, while his brothers defended against the surging cultists with swift nemesis blade strikes and volleys of bee fire. Under Stern's relentless psychic assault, Motten's spells faltered, and the demon's mortal form was shattered in a burst of brilliant blue flame. The Grey Knights teleported away just as the wreckage and burning debris of the destroyed fortress rained down. Shortly after, the Primarch Gilliman returned to Terra amidst a catastrophe of immense scale. The eruption of the Cadec Maledictum upon the throne world unleashed chaos, driving millions into madness. Rebellions erupted across Hive cities as warp storms tore open the skies, flooding the planet with destructive chaos. The led legion of Khorne's demons launched a relentless assault on the Lion's Gate, a key bastion within the Imperial Palace. Its defenses, guarded by towering gun batteries the size of warships, stood little chance against the onslaught. In desperate urgency, a brotherhood of Grey Knights was dispatched to Terrara, fighting shoulder to shoulder with the Adeptus Custodes and countless planetary defenders. Their mastery of coordinated strikes and potent psychic powers proved vital in holding back the tide of 88 cohorts of bloodthirsty demons. The deployment of Sisters of Silence further strengthened their ranks. Despite the torment of the End Maiden's psychic nullification and the chaos around them, the Grey Knights endured with stoic resilience. Their unmatched martial prowess, combined with strategic discipline and divine intervention, gradually turned the tide, allowing the fortress of Lion's Gate to be reinforced and the chaos to be contained. At long last, the forces of darkness within the palace were subdued as the malevolent entities were decisively expelled and permanently driven away.